Let's talk about that breaking news that ITV have appointed external lawyers to investigate the facts following Phillip Schofield's statement and his departure from This Morning. Joining us in the studio is journalist Clare Muldoon, who used to work at This Morning. But you're glad you're not working there right now, Clare.
Well, I don't have a choice, to be honest with you, Kevin and Rosie, because they blacklisted me because of a criticism I made of Queuegate at the time. And I said publicly that I didn't think that it was right, that it was just that they did what they did, because we've never actually seen footage of the film that they had to do. And I suggested then that the whole programme needed a clear out from top to bottom and indeed fresh meat, for want of a better word, in terms of talent, in terms of production, in terms of editorial aspect and content, and then for the whole programme could then move forward.
They should put you in charge right now.
If only
These are
they
good
had
ideas.
If only they'd listened to what I had said.
It sounds like by that point, though, the problems were already very much present. You know, ITV is saying they first heard of these rumours back in 2019, 2020. From ITV's perspective, this is potentially a good move. You know, they're going to say someone externally can scrutinise the process that they say they put in place and hopefully get to the bottom of this, because this is pretty brutal for everyone involved.
Rosie,
and also one person that, you know, ITV are very keen to protect and look after this runner right in the middle of this scandal that they didn't ask for.
No, they didn't. But you say they have to look out for this or look after what happened, not only to the young chap, but what are they actually looking for? That's the thing that I don't understand.
It's a good point.
You know, you can bring in external lawyers as much as you can. You can have legitimacy in the robustness of the duty that they will then come into with their abstract, that they know the facts and figures that they will have to look at, that they will have to interview on, that they will have to find the evidence for through research, i.e. through interviews, emails, WhatsApps. But look, the bigger picture here, guys, is not what's happening in This Morning, it's what's happening in the government, it's what's happening politically, it's what's happening globally, right? And to actually think about that for a wee minute, instead of going after someone that's not a national broadcaster. We do not pay the wages of Holly and Phil.
But interesting.
Advertisers do.
We'll move off on this subject in a little while, but because you're here to talk about old dads like Al Pacino, who's 83, Robert De Niro, 82. How do they do it? We'll talk about that in just a second. But one last point. Interesting what you said about the Queuegate.
Yes.
You were working there. Now, we had this wall of almost defiance from Holly and Phil at the time. We didn't do anything wrong, we're working journalists. But what you're indicating is behind the scenes, people like you were saying this was wrong. We did make a mistake here.
Yes.
And do you think that as a golden couple, this is where their problems began?
No, I think that the waters were murkied before that. I think the temperature was a bit lukewarm. I wasn't working then at the time of Queuegate, but subsequently had previously worked for them in terms of paper reviews and news reviews and certain other segments and debates and stuff. From my perspective, it was never a show that was always a go-to. I thought they had the demographic wrong. I think there were things wrong with the programme, as there is with Loose Women, as there is with every programme. You can criticise till the cows come home. However, I think that you were right. The start of the issues that we're now seeing and the unravelling of a partnership that was, you know, the paradigm of virtue and talent that we were fed all along. How many BAFTAs did they win? How many NTAs win?
Every year they get the NTA.
So it's an award-winning show, you know. So it must have attracted the right number of votes, and I voted for them as well for the National Television Awards.
Yeah.
So you know,